Hey guys, I'm back. I wanted to give you a part two because I just uploaded the first video and it went well. I was able to upload it fine on YouTube. I wanted to just talk a few minutes with you guys. A little bit of a continuation on when I told you that Jeremiah is we're looking into residential placement for him. Now, I realize I don't know if I can call it, if I should say it's controversial, a controversial subject, because the first, people have so many different ways of looking at residential placement for a child when they're on the outside looking in. And not that at this point I care what people think, I really don't, because they're not a day in our shoes. They're definitely not a day in my shoes to give an opinion. However, as I mentioned in the first video, this was something that I had come to terms with. I was mentally preparing for the past few years. I just hadn't a clue that it would happen this early on. I thought it would happen when he was like 20, 25 years old. So apparently that's not the case. Things had gotten worse here at home. Now I wanted to tell you that I had visited a place in the Bronx area. And I'm not sure if I'm allowed to say the name of the agency, so we're going to keep it low profile, but there was an agency that's well known for special needs children. And I was able to view one of their branches of a private house that they have where they house special needs adults, young adults. I went with my aunt last week, or actually like 3 weeks ago, and I was actually very pleased. Now, for those of you who don't know, I will give you a little bit of information from what I have experienced on how residential placement works. So, children on the autism spectrum, parents, you need to do the front door process. That is a certification where you sit in a workshop and they give you information on all of the services and all of the information, including medical case coordination that your special needs child needs. Once you have that certificate for the front door, it's actually through the agency for OPWDD, Office of People with Developmental Disabilities. Once you go through there, and it's right on Halsey Avenue here in the Bronx. Look it up on the website because I don't have their number, but I'm sure it's there. Halsey Avenue, Bronx, New York. Actually, Waters Place. It's Waters Place. I'm sorry, Bronx, New York. Once you do that whole process, which thankfully I did, and it takes a while. Hear me. Any special needs services that you'll need for your special needs child, it takes a long time. It's all a bureaucracy, if you ask me. But for an example, my little guy Elijah, I've been waiting on services for him, okay? And it's going on 2 years. That's right, 2 years. And I've done the OPWDD process. I've gone through the front door. I have the certification. He has an MSc. It takes a darn long time, and that's the biggest part of the frustration of this whole thing. I don't find it fair that you guys and myself, we have to wait that long for services for our child. They could be running up and down the walls, destroying furniture, and not being able to have a social life, and the parents are going crazy, and you still have to wait 2 years. That's right. Hopefully, you guys don't have to wait as long as I have. But I've been through this already, and it's a pain in the butt. So, what do? You pray and you read the word, and you stay in God's word, and you decree and declare his promises, because that's what's going to stand at the end of the day. You can wait 3 to 5 years, 5 to 10 years. The word of God stands. So I'm believing and trusting him for my kids. Plus, that's all I have to go on. I don't have anything or anyone else. We have to trust the Lord. So we looked into residential placement for Jeremiah. I liked what I saw. After going through the process of front door, OPWDD, they are both now OPWDD eligible, which means it's supposed to be an easier process for you guys to get services for your kids. I have yet to see that because I'm still waiting, as I've told you, but it is mandatory that they become eligible for OPWDD. If I'm not wrong, I believe this is a new regulation over the past 2 years or a year where all of special needs children have to be OPWDD eligible. Get information, get what you need, and get the services for your kids that you need to get. They deserve it, and get involved with the laws as far as special education services for your kids. They are supposed to have a fair and appropriate education at all costs. They are mandatory to get that. If you feel they're not getting that in their school system, get yourself a special education lawyer. I know of a special education lawyer who's phenomenal. So you can message me. I'll give you that information. She's in Manhattan, New York. She fights for the needs of special education children. You can get them into private schooling, whatever the case may be. But there are services out there for your kids. Fight for it. Nobody's going to advocate for your kids like you guys. Nobody. I was a very shy, introverted person. As my son, firstborn Jeremiah, became older, I learned to have a mouth and to become a bull for my kids. Not to be nasty and ghetto, but you need to be able to express with assertiveness that you know what your kid needs and they need to get it. They need to get those services because nobody's going to help you through it but yourself. And God bless you single moms that are doing this by yourself. I'm not a single mom, but I pray God's blessing over you. I can't imagine how hard that is for you guys. And, I just want to lift up the marriages in prayer. This is really hard, like I mentioned in the last video. Very difficult on marriages. It's very rare to have a couple. I've been married 20 years. Dave and I have been married 20 years, and it's extremely difficult. So, trust the Lord. Believe that He's fighting for you guys. And I pray that God strengthen the marriages, really, because you guys need each other. And it's hard. It's very difficult. But God knows when, where, how, and with whom. So just trust Him. And I just wanted to just let you guys know that. And I'll be uploading more videos next week. God bless you guys. Have a blessed week. Trust the Lord. Lean not on your own understanding. I know easier said than done, but worship, put that worship music going. That's what helps me. That's what helps me to get through. Give your first morning, the first fruits of your morning to Him, and things will get better. They'll be more peaceful. I suffered a lot with anxiety. I will tell you right now, I haven't had one bit of anxiety in over 4 months. So I believe God has healed me from anxiety and some depression too. God bless you guys. Doesn't mean it's easy, it means it's tolerable. Love you.